Hello, I'm Alison. I'm a legal assistant at Entre, Trámites, and I will be explaining you today how to fill and how does it work the form 150. Okay, so if you moved to Spain for work and took advantage of the so-called special regime for post workers, and this was before January 1st of 2015, then there is a key tax form for you, the Model 150. We are going to explain what is it for, and most importantly, how to get this very specific form. So what is this form? Due to the accurate information we have, we can clarify exactly that the Model 150 is not the income tax return for most tax residents, nor for non-residents in general. The Form 150 is the annual personal income tax return that must be filled by those taxpayers who have availed themselves of a very specific tax regime. The special regime applicable to workers, professionals, entrepreneurs, and taxpayers displaced to Spanish territory. This special regime is regulated in Article 93 of Law 35 of the 2006, the Personal Income Tax Law. It allows people who move to Spain for certain reasons, generally work-related, to choose to be taxed in a particular way, different from the general regime, paying a fixed rate on their Spanish source income, among other features. And here comes the crucial piece of information that defines the use of the Model 150. This form is only for those who chose to avail themselves of this special regime prior to January 1st of 2015. The law changed as of January 1st of 2015, so you must use another form for your annual return if you didn't choose the previous one, which is the Model 151. Therefore, the Model 150 is a specific form for a group of taxpayers within this special regime who started their taxation under the original rules before 2015. How can we get this form then? So I'm going to show you how you can get this form. You will be first in the website of the Agencia Tributaria, which is the competent entity to do this whole process. You will first select all procedures, then taxes, fees, and property benefits, and then you will have the personal income tax, and you will select the Form 150. Personal income tax, a special scheme applicable to employees post to Spanish territory. And remember, this is the special regime before January 1st. And then it will state download form, so you go this and you will select here, and then the form will be downloaded. This is the form that it has to appear in your computer if you are doing it virtual, okay? So the important thing is that first, you will have to fill in this form with your personal data, with the corresponding NIF, which is the number that it will identify you as a taxpayer, your address, and autonomous community where you are doing the professional activity. Then in the second page, which is here, you must fill in the information on income and inputted income. Remember that yields refer in general to the net income obtained by the taxpayer, in this case you, from various sources. So the regulations classify this income in different categories, each with its own rules for determining the net income minus deductible expenses, of course, and its subsequent taxation. On the other hand, inputted income does not correspond to income actually received by the taxpayer, in this case that will be you, but is income that the law presumes or imputes due to the mere ownership of certain assets or rights. Even though it does not generate an explicit yield in the fiscal year, the objective here is to tax the economic capacity resulting from the possession of certain assets and liabilities. Once you have filled the income and imputed income, you can fill the income from economic activities with a reduction of expenses. In the Spanish income tax return, the income from economic activities of self-employees and professionals is calculated taking into account the income and fundamentally the reduction of deductible expenses to determine the net income on which the tax will be applied. So that is what you be taking into account when you fill this side of this part of this form. Then when you go to page 3, as you can see here, you fill the income derived from real estate transfers, as it states right here. In the personal income tax return in Spain, the income derived from the transfer of real estate is considered as capital gain or losses. This means that they are not included in the general tax. That is why there is a specific part of this form for this. Base like income from work or economic activities, but in the saving tax base. So this would be into account into the saving tax base. Finally, you will specify the rest of profits right here in page 4. Okay, so what does it mean rest of profits? That refers to those capital gains and losses that do not arise from the transfer of real estate, but which also imply a variation in the value of the taxpayer assets, that in this case it would be you, as these gains from the sale of real estate, this income is included in tax in the savings tax base. Finally, you will have like a side of the form that it states other capital profits, because remember that you can have very diverse origins of capital. Okay, so most of the common examples are gains or losses derived from transfer of shares, investment funds, and other transferable securities. So if you have any of this, you will have to fill in this side of the form. The following pages, as page 4, page 5, in those pages require the taxpayers label, as you can see here, where it says espacio reservado para la etiqueta identificativa. In this space, you will put that information. But in the case that you don't have a taxpayer label, you will fill the form with your personal data, and the rest of the pages correspond to a complementary declaration. Okay, so once you put or your taxpayer label or your personal data, then you are finished the form. But if you have complementary declaration, then you will have to fill this part of the form that I'm showing you right now in the screen. If it is necessary to fill it out, you only have to sign and file the declaration. So how do you file the declaration once your form it's okay? You will be here in the website again, and you will click here in information and procedures. In this case, as it will be personal income tax, you will click here. Then you will go down your page and you will select where it states how to fill my tax return. Then you will select here tax system applicable to work posted to Spanish territory, because it's the regime applicable in this case. And then you will go here in all procedures. And then you will have here next where it states form 150, as you can see. And then you can state fill in. Once you have the fill in, then with your digital certificate, your DNI, or your clave, you can access to the website and fill in like the form and upload the form once it's filled. Okay, so thank you for your attention in this case. And in summary, I want to explain you that the model 150 is the annual tax return formed for those who took advantage of the Beckham law, as it is known, before January 1st of 2015, according to the IRPF law. If you took advantage of it later, you are looking for another form, okay, which is the form 151. It is a special regimen with its own requirements and way of taxation, different from the general tax regime for normal residents, and the tax presentation and everything for not residents. Okay, so if your situation fits here or you have doubts, specialized tax advice is indispensable. We hope this detailed explanation and correct with accurate information from the competent entity, in this case the Agencia Tributaria, has been of great help to you. Thanks for watching us, and remember this information is general and orientative about a very specific tax model. So if you want more information, we recommend you to consult your particular case with a qualified professional to ensure the correct fulfillment of your tax obligations. Have a nice day.
For more information, remember to check our website and follow us on our social media platforms. You'll find the link in the description box below. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve with expert guidance on streamlining your paperwork, be sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned to our channel.